Hello, we're going to take a look at how we can make some custom tools. In this case, these custom tools are going to take our part and kind of clean it up. So it's going to move the datums, the sketches, and so forth onto different layers. Alright, let's get started. To start with, Menu, Tools, Automation. And here you'll see we have two varieties. So there's a journal file, which we'll turn it into like a Visual Basic so it's a little bit easier to edit. Then there's the good old-fashioned macro. You can use either one. For our purposes, we're just going to use a macro because this is an easy one. I'm going to choose Start Record. And I'll just put this on my desktop. I'm going to call it Layers. Okay. Now the thing to keep in mind, once the macro starts recording, as you can see right here, everything I do will be recorded. So I don't want to check my email or do anything else just because it'll mess up the button clicks. So let's start. I wanted to move things on layers, so I'm going to go View, Move to Layer, and then I'm going to set my selection filters. So I'm going to say I want to move all sketches. There they are. So the first thing to do, I might just do a fit just to make sure. Now I've got to set the sketches and I'm going to say select all. OK. And I want to move them to the sketch layer. So I'm just choosing the category. OK. Let's do that again. Move to layer. This time we're going to move all datums. So I've got that set. Select all. OK. And I'm going to move it to the datums layer. The last one I'm going to move is the solid. So I'm going to go down to solid body, select all, OK. And I just want to move that to solids. And honestly, it's already there, but for our purposes, OK. At this point, I'm done. So I'm going to go back to Menu, Tools, Automation, Macro, Stop Record. Alright, so now I can start clicking everywhere, check my email, and so on. What we want to look at here, though, is did our macro work? So I'm going to do some undos. That way all of these things are back on layer 1. Just to check that layer settings, I can see it's all on layer 1. And then just to make this a little bit more visual, I'm going to take my layer settings and I'm going to say that I want the sketches, the datums, really everything except for my work layer. I want it to be invisible. And just a note, you can toggle that on or off, the categories. So now when I test my macro, it should move everything to those layers and we'll know it worked because it'll all become invisible. Menu, Tools, Automation, Macro, Playback. You can see there's a nice little hotkey. I'm going to choose the layers that I just created. OK. Hey, look at that. And it's done. Step 2 for this, though, is I'm too lazy to click Menu, Tools, Automation, Macro, Playback, and all of that. So we're going to also create a button. I'll do a couple undos. That way I just bring everything back. Now to create our button, I'm going to go to the Home tab. You could do it on any tab. And I'm just going to right click in the background, Customize, and I want to make a new item. And that new item is going to be a new user command. So I click and drag, just bring that up. I can then right click on that new user command And I can call this one layer cleanup. I want to edit the action. And you'll see the different types. So we're going with a macro. I'm going to browse for that macro. Layers, OK. And I can enter some text. This button will move all items to the appropriate layers. Right click on this guy again. Got the action set. Do I want to change the icon? This is kind of an automatic tool, so I'll just change that to a lightning bolt and close. So now I can see I've got my tool, layer cleanup. What happens when I press it? Hey, look at that, it just works. Alright, I hope that helps.